What is that? No, that is a gaping. It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We were the first podcast on the network. We're going to be the last podcast on the network because we're doing this until we're dead, John.
I'm so
We're
happy.
doing it until we literally die. Do you know how rare that is to be able to just be like, we know what we're doing for the rest of our lives?
Yeah. No, I didn't really. That didn't totally click until right now.
And maybe not. Who knows? You know.
No.
Yeah. Right.
No.
We know. Right. Like I was gonna say, we could. Whatever. Anything can happen. But if we want to, we can literally do this until we are in a pine box in the fucking dirt.
I am very, very excited about that fact.
It's just, that's a very, not that like anybody here I think would find a job and make money and be okay. It's not like we'd be like out on the street, but it's just like not a worry, like there are people who are worried like what am I going to do next in my career? Where am I going to go? I need to get a promotion. I need to make a move, a lateral move, a move up. Nope, we don't worry about any of that.
I to be fair, I never have. As evidence shows. but it's nice to know I never will.
Well, here's the deal from a KFC Radio point of view. So there will be Barstool Radio if you want to go listen to that. We'll talk about things like on a whole from the company. But on KFC Radio here, since these are obviously KFC Radio listeners, from a KFC Radio point of view, this doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, there was some time yesterday it's crazy how fast. And don't get me wrong, this is a hit of a drug that will wear off to an extent. Where
we're in the honeymoon high right now.
Yeah, but it was immediate. The shift in the office. One day it's like I own 100% of the company. Everything here changed.
The weight off people's shoulders
exceptionally fast. But that meant people were joking like I'm saying this again, I'm saying that again. And Kevin and I were sitting there like, you guys stopped,
bro.
It was like the kid.
The gang out front goes, "Kill yourself jokes are back."
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be a buzzkill, so I was like, yeah! We can do it again. Suicide jokes. We can have a suicide jar.
Like multiple people.
Well, so what they specifically mean, because in the gambling world, prior to, there was a lot of, I lost my bet, I'm going to kill myself. And we're not allowed to say that, whereas...
you can say it with depression.
Hey, you can say it when you mean it. When you're saying it with your chest, not over some silly bet.
It was like straight up out of the scene from We're the Millers, where people are like, it's like, I'm only getting 50,000. You're getting 50,000. I'm getting 25,000. You guys are getting paid this? So you guys stopped? What are you talking about?
No, for real though, it's like whether people like believe it or not, like I've never censored myself.
Nor have I
at all. And we didn't do gambling, so like I never gambled prior to them. I never gambled with them, and I never censored myself. So I'm like, I don't think this show is going to change at all.
I would agree with that.
I'm happy that like the whole vibe is, but it's like I just want people to know that though. It's like we never changed, and I don't think we ever will. Like. And for better or worse, maybe we never had to change because like they don't give a fuck about us and like we're not a big enough show or whatever the reason was. But like we never changed, never did, never will. It's always been this from day one, and it'll be until we're fucking dead.
It never changed ever since ourselves. Those are true statements. But there's also just I never once heard anything from anybody. About
I've never been contacted by a single person.
When we said that, when we would say that was true, and it remains true. I think it was a knowledge that everything did funnel to gambling. So everyone who did something else,
if you didn't gamble, it felt like, oh wait a minute, we're expendable.
Yeah,
it's not even the corporate like lifestyle. It was like dealing with government bodies and entities and like. Laws, lobbyists, like super PACs, like
stock price too.
What's that?
The stock price.
Stock price being tied to a public, like a public price. It's all very, like for idiots like us. It's like I don't know how to navigate any of this,
And it's just, I think last night I floated home on Angel's Wings, and I got in bed at 9:30 because I was just so excited for today.
Like Christmas
And then
morning.
I couldn't fall asleep until 1 a.m. because I was too excited to fall asleep. Like I was looking at, I was watching videos. I genuinely felt like, oh fuck, it's back.
Yo,
like,
that is like the main thing is. It was almost like I became a fan again for a minute, you know?
There it is.
That it was like going back to the days of when I read Barstool and just liked it.
Dude, walking here today, I was like, I'm gonna get a fucking Barstool tattoo.
Yeah.
Like fucking
right on the fucking
Fasoli
leg.
me up, dude. Fucking ink me. Give me a pirate flag, dude. In fact, like everything. I've been in the market for a tattoo. Don't let me out of this room. I'm a little too excitable. I might get it.
Yo, I got so many DMs from fans. There's like a few guys.
That was crazy. Yeah, like Kevin and I were talking out in front of the office yesterday.
Oh,
I tweeted it. It was a true story.
That was the
like,
best moment, maybe, of my career.
Dude, it was.
That was. I'm so mad we didn't just like have cameras rolling somehow. That guy walking by in a Mets hat. I think he was probably listening, had his phone out, and just was like, "We're back, baby! The pirate ship, hoist the sails!" I was like, "Holy shit! Is this like a plant? Did somebody like?
That was
that a
nuts.
setup? Is
We
this Tommy
talking-
Smokes or something?"
We were talking in front for 5 minutes. Like we were out there for like the first person who walked by. It's
Dapped
back,
up.
baby! It's
If
back.
that guy is listening, tweet the picture of us because there is proof of the moment happening. That was like, holy shit! Like that is the old school feeling. The DMs I was getting were like, I mean, this one guy said it best. He was like, bro, for a 41-year-old stoolie to see the whole thing from start to now has been the greatest reality show ever created. And I've always kind of joked that Barstool is the Kardashians for guys. Particularly when I would talk about the Kardashians and people were like, that shit's gay, why do you talk about it? I was like, you realize that we're the same thing for you.
Yeah.
You worry about our relationships and our ins and outs of our lives and everything. And but now I like really mean it. I mean, this is like a, you know, the season like 19 season finale was a fucking banger. You know what I mean? Like this you can't script this shit. I've always said that there'll be a book, there'll be a movie, there'll be a behind the scenes documentary, but like now that the story goes this way, it's like it's one of the greatest stories literally ever told. and not that's not to say it's like I know there are still plenty of people who like don't even know who we are and never will, but for the people who do know, the ride has been nuts. Yeah. Like shit that does not happen to other companies and other people and other entertainment entities. Like it is just like, what? I mean, I had people DMing me. I had real life friends texting me being like, you guys never lose, man. Like you're still the greatest show ever created. And that's, I mean, for the people who are like, who have ever been like, oh, that this is scripted, that's scripted. It's like, this is the sort of shit that happens. Like you're worried about these little storylines being like made up. This is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
This would be, if this was a script for an episode of Succession, they would say no. They'd be like, come on, this would never happen. You know? So, I mean, it's just the wildest fucking ride to ever be on. And this is particularly crazy. Nobody being here.
It is.
In the morning is fucking nuts. We'll talk more about it on Barstool Radio. But like Dave, dude, Dave is back in like fire breathing dragon mode. Yeah. But he also, I truly can't imagine, just like that dude, whether he's like meant to or like intentionally did or not, probably carried the weight of the world on his shoulders for a long fucking time. Whether when it was just himself being like, I'm going to like make this company work, and then being like, I am pretty much the linchpin for like the careers of like 250 people, 300 people, 400 people. So he's probably been like, you know, I actually don't think he's very stressed. I think he's kind of like, fuck it, this is what I do. But on some level, it's got to weigh on you, right? And then this week, he was just like, you could see he was smiling.
Yeah.
Dave Flinner was smiling.
The picture of him and Nate, like that's one of the more genuine smiles I've seen out of Dave outside of like the post-game Super Bowl
He went
parties.
to dinner with Nate. Like what? In what? That does not happen a day ago. No. You know, like that is a strictly I lost. Look at that smile. I will say this about Nate Dogg. The Portnoy smirk for two guys who for better or worse, whether we like to admit it or not, are just like have always just desperately been seeking Dave's approval.
Oh, I think I've admitted it.
Yeah. Like,
I think I made it pretty goddamn clear. I can count how many times you said "good job."
Yeah,
I
know the moments. Yeah. Like, two guys who just want you want to play catch, Dad?
And he always he's like, just gamble. And I'm like, I can't do that.
That's the one thing I can't do. I remember being.
What about if I try and be funny? He's not interested.
I remember the I don't know if I've told the story, probably because I've told every story I have. The Celtics Christmas party, way back.
Yeah.
We were in the box, and he tried to talk to me about gambling. And I, at that point, really didn't know any of the lingo or anything. And I was kind of just like, oh, I'm like, I don't know. I don't bet, man. And it was just kind of like, okay, cool. Like, I'm turning over here now.
I know.
And I remember being like, oh, I'm never going to be friends with this guy now. It would be the same of if I don't know, I'm talking to someone, I'm like, what's your favorite TV shows? And they're like, oh, I don't watch TV. I'd be like, see you never.
Yeah, right.
So, but what I was going to say is the Portnoy smirk is about the closest thing you can get to approval.
Yeah.
He'll never really laugh at you. He'll never. It's some Devil Wears Prada shit at the end where she just smirks, right? And that was her moment where she's like, oh, she likes me. When Dave goes you've either proved him wrong, or you got him, or you've said something funny that he thinks is funny but he doesn't want to admit it. And I will say, the dog is the guy who gets the smirk the most.
Yeah.
When yesterday Nate goes, cracking aces is safe, man, and Nate and Dave just turned around and he put his hands up to say something, and he was literally speechless. And he just smirked and nodded his head. It was great. So he as much as it's, Nate is, he's so funny. The lack of self-awareness is so funny.
Dude, he texted Trent 5 minutes into dinner. I don't know why I'm here. It's like, yeah,
no fucking kidding,
it was
bro.
Dave, Eric,
why would you
Gaz,
go?
And then Nate.
Oh, the noogie, yeah. The dog and Dave. I told Nate we're bringing back the bird cage, so get ready. You're gonna have to work from a bird cage again.
Dude, even watching that right now is oh my god.
Shit. Oh my god. So good. So it's just shit like that. It's actually the perfect combination. As much as we made fun of the new couches, the new front part of the office really does facilitate a lot more hanging out. And then this news along with it. Yesterday, we stayed at the office till 6:30, just hanging out and talking. Usually, I do the show and I'm gone, and it was.
I very much feel, and maybe where I'll be able to say, I don't know if it will. I don't know if what I feel again. It naturally will, but I feel part of Barstool again. 100%.
Well, you know what it is? It's physically the office. It's this news, and it's there's pride in New York again with the New York Chicago thing. It's people who are here want New York to be good. You have to be Barstool or not even Barstool, content creating, influencing, whatever fucking word you want to use for it, is 100% about wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Money comes and you can make a lot of money, and I actually think the money hurts the content creation. When you are good at making content, it's because you want to, and that is it. You can do it for the money, but you won't do it as good as the person who does it because they want to. So when we used to blog, I was not if I put this blog up, I'm gonna get more money. It was a byproduct of it, and I wanted a raise. But every time I blogged, I was I got to do it fast and good because I want the credit. I want people to know that I did it. I want to beat the other guy, and that naturally over time, and as you get money and as you get older and all these reasons, you lose that. It's I've done this a lot. I don't have the same juice. I don't have the same desire. I don't necessarily compare myself to anybody anymore. Now it's it's all back where it's I want it. I want to do it all again, and I want that's why we decided to do Barstool Radio. It's been something we were kicking around. In more than one form. We were talking about maybe changing. There's literally no. Adam Smith wrote 7 blogs last month. 7. Oh. So again, how fucking brilliant am I? Okay, should we read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is the Dave Portnoy blog, day 1 of the new Barstool. The title is How Fucking Brain Dead Are My Employees? I have an honest question. 4 spaces. How fucking dumb are all my... I'm going to read out how many spaces he puts in the words because that's part of Dave's blog. I have an honest question, period, 4 spaces. How fucking dumb are all my idiot employees? 4 spaces. I've literally owned Barstool less than 24 hours. They know I'm in town, and literally none of them has showed up to the office today before 10 a.m. 4 spaces. I've been here since 8 a.m. because I'm old and don't sleep anymore and was reading all the news articles and sucking my cock for buying Barstool back. 4 spaces. Anyway, back to the point. 4 spaces. Nobody is here. It was so silent. I noticed how silent it was. And I'm not talking about valuable employees either. This isn't Murderer's Row of content. It's not Big Cat, PFT, or Alex Cooper. I'm talking about Bold, Smitty, Nate, Glenny Balls, Marty, Rico, Tommy, Clemmer, Rico again. This is the best blog Dave has written in years. And you can tell. Like, the double Rico is very funny. Guys I could cut at the drop of a hat and nobody would notice and they'd never find another job like this again. None of them are here. None of them thought I'd show up maybe early on day 1 of the new regime. I mean, seriously, how fucking dumb are these people? No wonder Penn gave it back to me for pennies on the dollar. I got the dumbest group of morons who ever lived. Is that the end? That's great. What a blog. That's going to stir up so many people of like, hire me. I'll never do this to you, Dave. That is bad. I mean, that is fucking bad.
That was... Unfortunately, you and I were in here because I walked out afterwards. He was like, Feitelberg's here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I walked out for a reason. Because I saw that tweet and I kind of just moseyed my way out there. Just be like, oh, hey, boss, how you doing?
Yo, I love how it's like, we're not doing any corporate shit anymore. Hey, boss.
Bro, I did that shit.
Bro.
I didn't do that shit during Penn. I did that shit pre-Penn. Or pre-Kernan.
Yep.
I did that shit fucking, I'm doing shit. I did that shit back in Milton.
You do it for Dave.
Doing that shit
you do it for
again,
Dave.
Yeah. I woke up at 9:26 this morning, fucking rushed in the shower, didn't do my hair, threw on clothes, and fucking got here for like 9:55. That wasn't, bro. It's actually scary how naturally that came. Like, I knew
it's back.
I like to think when I'm Big Cat PFT or Alex Cooper, we're right there.
Yeah.
I think it's not like where the fuck's Feitelberg and Kevin. I was like, I better be there by 10. But like, I actually no. The weird part is I wasn't. It just
happened. You
instinct.
didn't think it. Your body just
I
knew.
didn't like. I need to be there. It was just like fuck.
10 o'clock.
Get there.
And it's. I mean, the joke. Not even the joke. Just like the ridiculousness has always been 10 a.m. is the fucking cutoff. Like, you're almost watching Price is Fucking Right. And we want you to be in the office. I mean, yeah, that is colossally stupid. And now, like, it's now you can't leave again. Like, everyone. I will say this about Barstool Radio, and this might apply to the whole thing with Dave as well. A lot of people were like, I'm so excited Barstool Radio's back. People dreaded that show when it was on the air. Where there's a lot of revisionist history and rose-colored glasses with Barstool Radio because people used to get dragged in there to talk about their personal lives and their worst moments and their drama and their gossip, and it was like, oh, fuck. Now it's like, I can't wait for it to be back.
I think that it'll obviously be very much that. But it's, we are not Dave, personality-wise or power-wise. Yeah. So, like, you're not talking to your boss.
Yeah, you can't get, like people used to be like, I'm going to get fired on the radio.
And I think I think we're a good balance. I think you can get a little more.
I'll probably be the Dave role, and you have to be the... I used to throw everyone a lifeline, even if I disagreed with them. Yeah. I'd be like, I just don't want to watch this person get beaten to death live on the radio. So I would be like, no, Smitty works hard,
Yeah.
And then Dave, it was like a Simon Cowell thing, like there's a bad guy and the good guy. And now I think I'll probably have to be more the bad guy. I'm not good at that, but I'll try to play that role.
I don't think I'll throw lifelines. I think you'll be good at that. I think Tommy's very good at everything, to be honest, but I think he's good at stirring.
Tommy will be good at like this person needs to cut. Like he'll know the drama and the gossip. Like this person.
And he's very good at being like funny about it.
Yeah.
And then I think it's a curse, but I think I'm always pretty good at seeing both sides of things. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I will agree with you, and I won't be throwing lifelines. I'll be stepping on heads.
Yeah. Right. If No, I mean, well, that's like to do a good.
That even sounded too much. That's not what I mean. Like
no,
that.
but to do a good and compelling radio show, like you're not gonna be everybody's friends.
Yeah,
you know, like there are gonna be. I don't know how people. I think I know how people felt about Dave on Barstool Radio. I think I could guess how people felt about me, but I don't know what people used to say about me. But like, there were definitely times, that you would get called in, and I would be like, "Yeah, man, you're a fucking idiot." And then like outside of Barstool Radio, I would just say hello and smile to you, and people were probably,
I've been called on Barstool Radio when I was an idiot.
Yeah,
and you know what? If you told me off air I was an idiot, I'd be like, "God, fucking no, I was dumb."
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to kill you.
I could see people, being like, what, you want to be friends now? And it's like, yeah, I do. I don't know. This is just the fucking gig. I think there's also, you reach a point of, it's like blogging. I say blogging. I just mean, because we don't blog anymore, but just podcasting, content, whatever.
Dave is currently coming at Smitty right now because he wrote 7 blogs.
Yeah, we read the blog. Yeah.
Cool.
You reach a point of like blogging nirvana almost, where you're like, you don't care anymore. Like you always care, but it's like, are we friends or not friends? I don't really care. Like, are you gonna like me, not like me? Do you like my content? Do you like my show? I don't care, And that's when you can do a show like that more honestly and impartially.
Yeah.
And Dave could always do it because he's the boss, and it's just like, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your boss. Whereas I was always kind of like, we are friends, but now I gotta like play this role on the radio. Long story short, it's just like, I think we're at a point where it's like, we've put in enough hours to be critical or whatever, honest or whatever we need to be about it, that I think it'll definitely work. I think and just having the gossip back, the drama back, the more so the amount of people who were just like, I fell off because I used to be able to just listen to like Barstool for an hour and know what's going on at Barstool. Now it's like I got to listen to 5 podcasts and 50 different Instagram accounts and all this shit. It's just like, bam, it'll all be laid out in one show.
The straw that stirs the drink for that will be Tommy Smokes.
Yeah,
I think you and I and other people in the Barstool office, New York office, have always known that we're gonna have some kind of radio show here, but we couldn't figure it out. I know you and I weren't interested in doing just a Kevin and John show, another one.
Yeah.
I don't think we were interested in it. I don't think there's demand for it. We didn't know how to make it work. Mm-hmm. And you called me yesterday morning, and you're like, "What if we do it with Tommy?" And I was like, "Holy shit, yes!"
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need. It was like voicemails with KFC Radio, and I was like, "Let's go." That's it. Like Tommy kind of was the X factor there.
And then think of rotating fourth mic, which I think the secret weapon. The day that when maybe someone does need to have their neck stepped on.
I have a couple people.
I got 2. Obviously the dog.
Yeah, the dog.
The one I was thinking.
We'll do 3, 2, 1, and we'll say it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Pat. I knew you were going to say it.
It's our gay bulldog, baby.
He's a saucy, sassy little thing. That's exactly what he is. He loves it. He backstabs on reality shows. He talks shit to your face and behind your back. He is going to be... He'll probably end up being a permanent Mike, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, wait, what are the blogging tags on it? Dumb morons, Rico Bosco. Fucking great. So
bro,
funny.
I watched that video last night that Dave posted. It's so embarrassing, but like the
reception desk make a difference. If you have a concern, suggestion, preventing illegal or unethical activity, please speak up. And you look at the back, it's like if you want to anonymously narc on somebody, No. You want to fucking narc on somebody here, we do it publicly on camera. No more bitches, no more fucking this, that. Make a difference, shut the fuck up. You got a problem, you turn the cameras on, and you settle it for content. That's how we do it.
Gang shit! Gang shit!
Dude,
I didn't see that till right now. That's fucking awesome. I did see him go to the desk and grab those, and I didn't know what they were. But it was right after that big meeting, and there's so much hubbub, so I just didn't figure it out. That is fucking great. This stuff, dude. The minute that we were clowning Nate, all just roasting him, like the feedback immediately was people just being like, "It's back, dude." Like I almost wish we didn't work here and we were just fans because the feeling of that, like it would. I guess it's kind of. it kind of flopped in the long run in my mind. But like when Chappelle came back, I remember being like excited. I'm trying to think of like, I guess it's like if one of your shows that got canceled gets
Renewed.
scooped up by Netflix.
Yeah, hopefully we're not season 4 of Arrested.
I just like The Rush. Legitimately,
it just hit me. This could go awfully.
It's not all.
Oh God, this could go really bad.
Imagine like fast forward like a month and we're all like fired. There's no money left. We're all fucked.
Last night I was so jacked up. I was just saying, I was in bed watching Dave's clip of him doing the "I'm not fucking leaving," which I knew was coming at some point.
Yeah.
But I was watching it like. I'll be honest, like we were saying, we're always looking for Dave's approval. I was like, am I going to be in the crowd? Wait, actually, Paz, can you pull that up? We are the crowd, which was
what I didn't see.
It's just the "I'm not fucking leaving" speech.
And then you
with
put
people's
like,
faces.
okay, good.
And
you know what is funny? That is a very inside Barstool thing. I don't know if anyone's talked about publicly, and people on the outside would never know. When Milmore makes videos or posters and photoshops your head onto movie characters or whatever they are, like whatever the poster or video is about, you want to be in it.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're like, oh, fuck. Or like your placement, you know what I mean? If you're like a tiny head in the background, you're like, I guess I'm not thought of like that anymore.
But I watched this last night, like,
that's fucking
5 separate, like more than 5, just like in bed, lights off.
Yep. I mean, yeah, if I was watching this, I'd be like, when the camera cuts, I better be in there. Hell yeah, let's go. The dog. That is so good.
I would have liked if my mouth moved here.
What is that?
I just look like a fucklehole.
Yeah, you just look like a face to be fucked. That is a bro. There are easily 1 million images of you with your mouth open on the internet. Pull up any video where you say "oh" on camera.
It's like you would just make John look like a sex doll.
I feel that looks like Milmore printed out a piece of paper and cut it with scissors and then put it back on the computer.
Bro, I was watching it like the second time. I was like, it must have paused the first. I want to say like move my mouth.
And that is for sure a glory hole on your face.
Dude, it's like...
That is hilarious.
I was...
Look at Trent, so it's perfect. That is so... Yeah, like as easy as it's fucking hilarious. What is that? No, that is a gaping asshole.
Dude, I was watching it and like...
Wait, but what the fuck is that? Wait, you guys would know. Don't you like have to intentionally make someone's mouth look like that? That's not human.
He must have made it like that. There's no way. No, so what happened was those are probably your lips, but he manipulated it in Photoshop by just like smudging it up and down and like didn't put much effort into it. And I think he saw what he was doing. And
is that Milmore, you think?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I was watching it like at the end of Step Bros and like this is the best. It's okay that mine's not movie quality. It's okay that I look like a mouth to fuck.
I mean, this even just this is just fucking great.
KFC Radio is brought to you by Body Armor. From sports drinks to sport water, Body Armor keeps us hydrated all day long. To an outrageous extent, if you know how many bathroom breaks I take per episode, I am drinking Body Armor nonstop. My doctor asked me if I drink 2 liters a day. I said, Doc, I drink about 3 liters of Body Armor per episode, and that's minimum and not an exaggeration. Whether we're talking, watching, or even playing sports, Body Armor is our go-to choice. Real hydration, real ingredients, packed with electrolytes, vitamins, and nothing artificial. They also have great tasting flavors, like unbelievable tasting flavors, like strawberry banana. Strawberry banana is a flavor I hear, and like I'm not even like, that's my kind of flavor. That typically is not something that appeals to John Feitelberg. I have the strawberry banana, and I'm like, this is the most delicious drink I've ever had in the history of my life. They also have blue raspberry, tons of other, what am I looking right there? Strawberry grape, all kinds of flavors. The best athletes in the world drink Body Armor, like Ronald Acuna Jr., Christian McCaffrey, Alex Morgan, and the latest athlete to join the team, one Joe Beto. My favorite one, as I said, is a strawberry banana. I am basically strictly just like a water guy. So I like a lot of just the Body Armor water. I think the bottle is incredibly. This actually sounds crazy when you talk about with water bottles, but like this is a nice water bottle to hold. If you're a water drinker, if you're a real drinker like me, if you're a hydro homie, this is a great water bottle to just hold. Like this is a comfortable water bottle. I keep it in bed with me. It is all the time. I think they call them emotional support water bottles now. I got mine. Mine is Body Armor. Late night recordings, watching your kids, etc. You need to stay hydrated. My dad recently discovered water. I've said this a bunch of times. He's always like, "You've been drinking water?" I drink water all the time, thanks to Body Armor. It is available in stores nationwide. Head on over to Body Armor store on Amazon and get yours today.
When I legit got a little like when in his video when he was like, I'm gonna own it till I die, and then if I die I'll pass it to Kevin, and if he dies it goes to his kids. I was like, oh my god, it's like I gotta start grooming Keegan to be a fucking CEO of Barstool. So it is funny because like
Why not, Shay?
Oh, Barbie bitch.
Because I would never subject my little baby angel to this fucking place, this goddamn circus. Why not, Shay?
That was very funny.
So, but it is funny that like, I don't know, the show will just be the same.
Yeah.
Like, so back to what you always listen to. We're always in this studio with this gang doing our thing. We will go back to twice a week though. So because the Monday episode was always like a Barstool personality, and the whole idea was that the whole point of the Monday episode was to do a little Barstool Radio, do a little Dave Portnoy show. When Dave Portnoy show left, I was like, there's a void for, Barstool personalities getting some shine. So let's do that once a week. Now with Barstool Radio, that won't be necessary. So back to twice a week, but we'll also be on air Mondays. So if you want your fix, you can just listen to Barstool Radio, which will be on our YouTube page. I think.
But are we going to do the Monday episode of Best of Barstool Radio?
And then, I don't know when that'll air.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out. But either end of the week or beginning of each week will be a podcast version of Barstool Radio. The YouTube, whatever YouTube account it ends up on, will have highlights and clips. So if you can't watch live, it'll be in YouTube form on demand. It'll be in podcast form on demand. So you'll be able to get your fix that way. We had even talked about when before all this happened, but after the corporate shakeup with the GMs and the new branches of Barstool, we there was a pretty clear initiative of like every brand needs to grow and grow like a lot. I think the vibe was like we need to make this like $1 billion company, and so for that to happen, we have a bunch of brands that are like over the fucking moon successful, and then we need to get every other brand like up there. And KFC Radio, like, it just is what it is. We've been around forever, and we know exactly how big this show is and how big it isn't. And the only thing I've ever always talked about when it comes to trying to grow this show is we've always heard about the name and about how kind of broad and vague it is. Sales was always like, they don't understand the name. We don't get what the show is. It's hard to pitch.
It's a podcast.
I know. It's literally it was like one of the first ones because it was just like what podcasts are. It's people just having funny conversations. But every podcast is, and every podcast always has been. And for some reason, you guys couldn't figure it out over the last fucking 15 years. But I did get it's an unorthodox name, and especially when there was radio and podcast and all that shit. So I had talked to John, and I said, maybe this is the time. What I always wanted the podcast to be is the Barstool Sports Podcast, because that's what it was. It was Barstool the Barstool website in podcast form. We would talk about sports, but we would talk about chicks.
By the way,
talk about viral videos.
I like sports again.
You like sports again?
It's one of those things how like work always affects how you do stuff and enjoy stuff. And I was talking about this. Like I golfed with Trent and Frankie yesterday. Came right in from the links for the meeting.
Yo,
which was
we'll talk about that in a second.
and we were just talking about life and shit out there. And I was saying how like Barstool has, in a sense, kind of like ruined just like calling your friend and talking to him for me, because it's always like, wow, this would be good content, and it's not just like everything we're talking about with like structures and stuff like that. It's never a conscious decision of like, no, this would be better here. It's just like, why have the conversation now? Let's do it on air, or let's do it like everything got changed. And sports were one for me, and maybe it's because I didn't gamble and I felt left out. Not left out, because it's not like I was trying to be in. Like I just like, it felt like there was a chasm between me and sports people, and I was like, even like I would just be like, ugh, and like scroll past anything sports on Twitter. Last night I was like
watching highlights.
I was like, oh, Hard Knocks. Oh, yeah. It is. I saw like Sauce Gardner. I was like, I fucking know who that is. Aaron Rodgers told me he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy the shift I've had in the last 12, 18, whatever it's been out.
That's honestly kind of what like the key to life is, if you can like harness that or flip that. Like, unfortunately, it takes monumental events to like trick your brain into feeling that way. The people who can like control their emotions and like just make themselves, or at least trick themselves into feeling that way, you know, if you could give yourself that same like revitalized feeling just on demand, it'd be great. You know, I don't know. I actually don't know if people can do that. I do think you need some sort of outside catalyst, but you need to wait every 10 years for a monster event like this for it to happen. But we had talked about like, I back when I started the podcast, I was like, I can't call this the Barstool Sports Podcast. Dave is not even on it, and he'll never like allow that. That was back when there was a lot of like competition, and like, you know, he would never, I just don't think he would let me use that name. And then, but then this time around, I was kind of like, you know, Dave is not doing content as much. He's not in the office. He's in Miami. Chicago's happening. We're kind of like the last thing that is like truly original Barstool that's here. So maybe I can use that name, and maybe we can just rebrand this whole thing to the Barstool Sports Podcast. The content wouldn't have to change because that's the essence of the show, but maybe the marketing and the branding and the search engine optimization and the people stumbling upon it, maybe that would be the one thing that could like lift us to another, you know, tier, because just steady growth is not going to get us to be like a, you know, 100 million download show or whatever. But I was like, maybe we can do that. And so we kicked that idea around a couple weeks ago. And our initial conversation, I think we were both like, fuck it, let's do it. And then by the end of that same conversation, it was like, well, wait a minute. Are we going to really just change everything we've built over the last like decade? And then it's just nice that, you know, 2 weeks later, we can do Barstool Radio and this and just like have both of them exist, you know, in the same world. So I think it's great for content for the actual show. It's great for content for the like the vibe and like the atmosphere. I think the people who were maybe nervous about like where they stood and what their future is going to be, they're just like back at it, like no worries. But yeah, there definitely is like, well, how's this going to work? Is everybody going to be here forever? Is the money tree like still growing? How does this go on?
I also was thinking about like merch last night. I think like a big boost in merch will probably come just because it's different buying from like the guys that you love, like compared to like buying from a big corporation. I think that like merch was kind of dying for us in a way.
I think buying merch for like,
because it wasn't cool. It like it wasn't cool. That's again just what comes. I'd said it before, where you kind of become the mountain and you're not a cool company anymore. I think being us again makes us cool again. So, I think so, at least. I could be wrong. Or people could disagree, but I think it's a cool company again.
I feel like the fans who have been like day one fans, it's probably, I know this sounds silly if you're not like a diehard and you think that we're all being dramatic, but like that was probably some of the best news they've ever gotten. Like because it represents like what you do when you hate your job and how you escape and all that shit. It matters a lot. You know? Like you may not even realize it, but then all of a sudden you get the news, like the thing you loved that you didn't even necessarily think was gone, but like, you know, it had changed, is back. It's like resparking a relationship or something like that, where it's like we're back in the honeymoon phase and everyone's happy again. I think a lot of people were probably like, holy shit.
I think I've said this before too, where like we all know and always know that pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. We were a pig who became a hog. I don't know if anyone's ever gotten to be a pig again. like,
bro, and you're right. Like that just does not happen. People don't, you know, get their company back when it's still like thriving. Dave's haters must be sick to their fucking stomachs for multiple reasons. Number one, it's a huge win. Number two, like they probably were like, oh, that guy's gonna go away soon. Like he's got his money. You know, he's just gonna ride off into the sunset, and we'll just like get to operate in our world without dealing with him. And it's like, nope. I'm back, and I'm bad, and I'm better than ever.
Yeah, there are gonna be more Trump ads than you're used to.
I wonder, but I do wonder, especially as we've seen how day one has unfolded. I wonder if like Smitty was like, fuck.
Oh,
you know, like a couple people who are classically in the crosshairs of Dave. I mean,
but
bro,
like,
have you ever seen a worse batch of timing than Rico Bosco?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy did nothing wrong. He just took a vacation from work with his family in the middle of the fucking dog days of summer when there's only shitty baseball on. And, you know, probably really tried, like, okay, football's about to come up, so let me get it in now. And it happens to be the biggest week in the history of Barstool.
Did you read this blog?
Where is Rico Bosco? No.
This was from yesterday. This is yesterday morning.
How many vacation days? How many vacation days should new employees be given? Okay, let's go down. This is hypothetical that I've been thinking about. Wait, this is after the news?
No, before.
Okay. This is hypothetical that I've been thinking about lately. How many vacation days should a new employee get his first year? Oh, because Rico's year to year. So how many days of vacation should a new employee get in his first year of employment? Because back in early Boston days, I didn't keep track of vacation days. It was just expected that everyone would work 24/7, 365 days a year. Fact. If we didn't blog every single day, the company wouldn't have survived. Nobody bitched or complained about it. It just was what it was. We chose that life over corporate America, and we were willing to do literally everything it took to give us the best chance to survive. That's exactly what I was saying at the top of the show, just summarized, like, you know, shorter. It wasn't even the best chance to survive. It was, but it was also just like, this is the best chance to like live a life that's not. It was shitty because you had to blog every day, but no amount of blogging was worse than corporate America.
Yeah.
Well, obviously times have changed. I've sold Barstool twice. We've gone slightly corporate. But to be honest, I still don't know how many vacation days work here. I know at one point you had to ask ZA permission to go on vacation. I always looked at it as people can take as much vacation time as they want. The best people will work their asses off to build their profile. The slackers will try to game the system and take as many vacation days as they can finagle. Yeah, that's true. So again, I asked the question, what's the typical amount of vacation days? I mean, I will say, as always, I reached a point, you know, it's very funny, and I hate to say it, because it's just, you know, it's going to make that enormous head even bigger. But there was a time in my sports fandom career where I just gave in to Tom Brady. And I was just like, I used to spin it. He's not Peyton Manning. His numbers aren't good. He's cheating, steroids, you know, Deflategate, all this shit. And eventually, I think it was the Rams, maybe it was Deflategate. I don't know. They were 28-3, whatever it was. I was just like, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to be Max Kellerman. I bend the knee. And, like, as a guy who was rivals with Dave, and, like, we were always, like, butting heads, and there was team this and team that, like, I mean, I can't say shit. You can't say shit about the guy anymore. But the reason I say that is because I always was like, Dave has gotten us here. So, like, he was right. I was wrong about this. He was right about this. But I was always like, I think we could have done it your way with just a little, like, dash of humanity of treating people, like, humanely. And, like, maybe having, like, a couple vacation days would have, like, I don't know, saved the psyche of about 10 or 12 people on the planet Earth. It really, like, Barstool, it came at the cost of, like, probably, like, 6 to 8 people's mental health.
You could probably guess.
Yeah. Like, and we, in exchange, got to do all this cool shit and made some money and all that, but, like, we'll never be the same. Our brains will never be the same. So maybe if it was just like, remember when he said, like, all your friends who take vacations will never be successful in life?
Bro, I was going to bring it up,
Yeah.
obviously. You'll all...
Like, my friends go on vacation, and they work real jobs. Your friends are never going to be successful in life. Oh, okay.
He was wrong.
Sorry, Dad.
He was wrong. They're all doing all right.
Yeah.
But...
That's what I mean. Like, maybe. But, like, here's the thing. What he said was true. Like, the people who want to be big are going to do it, right?
Yes.
And this, I'm not trying to pile on Rico, and because I certainly know, married life and family life when you work for Barstool, those two things are diametrically opposed. And if if one succeeds, it pulls the other one down, and vice versa. So it's this big battle. So there's no easy way to do it. But, like, Rico's also just got to recognize, like, I would just be like, yo, babe, like, I can't. I'm Rico. I'm in the crosshairs forever now. It's just not going to be the same for me as other employees. So when she's like, other people go on vacation, it's like, well, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I can't.
Do you think he's back today? Like, I'd fly back. I'd 100% fly back.
I don't know enough about, like, his, family situation where, like, I don't know. It is a tough game when you're married. I don't know what his relationship is like. There is a part of you that's like, I'm a father and a husband, and like this, I'm not leaving my kid on vacation. But there's a part of you that's like, I also am a father and a husband. I have to provide and do all that shit. So, like, also for the showman in him, like, if he popped on Barstool Radio today, like, holy shit, I think we'll for sure get a call. I think if we're not closing out Barstool Radio with the Rico song and the Rico call, I would be sorely disappointed. But it is it is the most difficult part of Barstool, at least it was for me, and still is to an extent, is being it's not even kids, but it is the marriage and relationships, I think, are very, very hard at Barstool. And then that goes times 100 when you're one of the punching bags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's just guys, me, you, whoever, like, we just knew it's different for us in certain ways. It's different for Rico. Different for Rico.
What is this video?
Oh, it's just your golf attire.
Oh, yeah. So okay, enough about, so that's the news. We'll get into the regular show. Johnny Golf came in the office yesterday, made a video with Frankie and Trent.
It was very funny that me
Look at this. With his shirt tucked in.
So funny. Me and Trent walked in right before the announcement. Like, the announcement, our train got into
Look at him, look at
that. Our train got into Penn at 3:50.
So that was, I didn't say it to you because I didn't want to, like, stress you out, but you were like, we'll be back in time for the meeting. Like, we're going to end golf around, like, 2, and as long as there's, like, not crazy traffic, like, we'll be back. I didn't know you were taking the train. I thought you said traffic.
I did say traffic. Okay. I thought Trent was going to drive.
Okay, and I was like, yeah, because there's never a lot of traffic going from Long Island to Manhattan on a summer afternoon. I was like, no shot you guys make it back in time. And then even taking the train, it was still close. There
was a 2:45 train that got us at 3:50, something like that.
But at least you knew there was a time,
yeah.
So you knew you were going to get. Yeah.
And we strolled in, and, like, the office was set. Everyone knew that you, Dave, and Erica were, like, I don't know, in some meeting room.
Yeah.
And there was this meeting, and everyone was, like, waiting with bated breath. And me and Trent sauntered in, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you wearing?"
I've never. This has always been this is the cross you bear at Barstool. People just talk about your outfits all the time, but usually it's like it's a stylish thing that people aren't used to or understand. You've gone so far that direction, you come out the other side where if you just wear a polo and khakis, people are like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
it
is
so
the
not
most
look.
standard golf. Now, to be fair,
you look like every other man in America your age. It's just so far from what you are that people are like, "What in the fuck is going on here?"
It is. It was like I said that people would have been less surprised if I was in scrubs, like covered in blood. They'd be like, "Oh, John just did surgery," and that would have been fine. But this, they're like, "What the fuck is that?" It's khakis and a polo, man. It's khakis and a polo.
I mean, like every single person. I watched it happen. Everybody who came in stopped. What are you wearing? Like
you said you looked to where we were standing 4 separate times to find me. And I was just standing there.
It's like, where's Feitelberg? Like, zipping past him every time. And he was like, I was golfing, and people were like, why didn't you change? He's like, I came from the golf. Like, what do you think? I'm just gonna wear this.
Trent was in the same exact clothes.
Like that. That's what's funny though. Like he looked normal. Yeah. You looked ridiculous. It's kind of what I always say about like the way you regularly dress. If I were to wear that, people would be like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the expectation. And, that was almost it was great in a weird backwards way. It was like, oh, we're back to making fun of Feitelberg's outfits too. Yeah. It's a totally new outfit, but let's just start calling him gay again.
Madam Feitelberg's back, dressing like a fucking corporate asshole on the golf course.
It is funny that you never looked more corporate in your life on the day of the least corporate day.
I wanted to stay on the court. I wanted to be in the office for the announcement very badly.
So you know what? I almost missed it.
You did?
So I was in the meeting with Dave and Erica, and then Erica was like, okay, I thought she said something like, I'll come get you or I'll text you or whatever. It was around 4:00. And I asked to talk to Roan. So me and Roan were having a meeting about New York and everything, and didn't realize that like all of a sudden it was like 4:20. And we were in the green screen room, and we heard just like some random kid out here go like, "What? We're back!" or something like that. And he was like, "Wait a minute, are we missing this? I don't want to miss the rocket ship taking off." Like, and I came in like we were like the last to join the like. If Roan didn't speak up, we were just like kind of going all on about content. I would have probably missed the whole thing. Which would have been very funny. So let's get into regular shit.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole and voicemails? Okay.
ZBiotics. We all have busy lives these days and can't afford to waste a day stuck on the couch because of a few drinks of the night before. ZBiotics is the answer we've all been looking for. ZBiotics is pre-alcohol probiotic. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. We've all had those. They are not fun. Here's how it works. I'm sure you're curious. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. We're gut health, baby. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough day the next day. I am learning that right now. That is incredibly helpful information. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Every time I have a ZBiotics before drinking, it makes such a difference the next day. Even after drinks the night before, I know I will be able to do anything. I'll be able to record. Such a difficult job I have. I'll be able to do this no problem. I'll be able to hit the gym. I'll be able to go to lunch. I'll be able to go to brunch. I haven't made a brunch in 15 years. Guess what? ZBiotics, I can. You can too. Go to ZBiotics.com/KFC to get 15% off your first order when you use KFC at checkout. You can also sign up for a subscription using the code KFC so you can stay prepared no matter the time or the occasion. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, that's how you know. They're throwing the guarantee on it. They will give you their money back. They will refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to ZBiotics.com/KFC. Use the code KFC at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this episode.
All right. Am I the asshole? You want to pick a card?
Yeah.
Everybody can get their copy of Am I the Asshole? It's got 500 different scenarios. We always forget to play it on the air because it's a fucking fun game. It's fun to do it this way. So everybody should go get theirs and do it for your parties and stuff. What do we got?
Do you guys want to play? Can you play from over there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Got a mic?
Okay. I won't go to protests with my boyfriend anymore because I don't think they're effective. He says I have no moral backbone.
Bro. if you ever say the phrase "you have no moral backbone," you're an asshole. Bro, life is too short to give a fuck about your moral backbone. I'm sure some people think the diametric opposite of that. That's what life's all about. But like, give me protesting had a glow up over the last decade or so. I mean, during the Occupy Wall Street days, and anytime there was like a protest that like stopped traffic or whatever, pretty much like everyone I know and in my circle and my feed on the internet was like, fuck protesters. And obviously there are still a lot of people, like, protesting is a very hot button issue, but it actually works and it became effective. Like, it used to just be like a bunch of assholes crying. Now it like, it became it was almost like the 60s again, where it was like protesting like mattered. So it definitely changed like the whole vibe of protesting. But I mean, it was easy pickings to like blog a protest and be like, fuck these losers, and everyone's like, yeah, fuck them.
Dude,
I actually remember I almost fucked myself. I got to give him credit. One of the legal, he who should not be named, saved me. I walked through Grand Central and there was a protest, and I was like, fuck all these losers, like, get out of my way, I need to get to my train. And it was the Eric Garner protests, which was like one of the first like racial police brutality ones. Like, and I published it. It was up for like 2 minutes, and he was like, "Hey man, I don't know if you've seen what this news story is about, but like this is and I was like, oh shit, okay, let me delete it. But I was even like, all right, whatever, I'll just be safe. But like, fuck you pussy. And then I was like, oh man, I could have like ruined my career on that one.
Dude,
we're back to that. Let's go.
I was during the pandemic. I was like drinking on the street in New York, just like, remember when it was like when everything was closed.
Yeah.
And
good old days.
Yeah. Everything was closed, and like you just drinking on the street. Like everyone's just like sitting on sidewalk corners. It was dope. Yeah, and there was a protest.
Wait, it's real funny you say that, because I mean, arguably at that point it was like, like, and I was at the point where like thousands of people a day started to die.
Numbers are
and
crazy.
I remember there was like a group chat about a really cool picture you took of Hubs. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was sitting on the curb with like a fucking like 40 or something like that, and like the sun was behind him, and Feitelberg sent out the picture, and I think then everyone was like, yo, Feitelberg, can you take a picture of me too?
That was when we started to take pictures of your friends.
Yes.
One of the most successful movements of the pandemic.
And it was like people banging pots and pans, and then these guys were like, let's take selfies.
Not selfies, pictures.
Pictures.
Different.
There is a difference.
But it was on that exact street corner, and there was a protest coming up, and I wholeheartedly believe in all these protests. And there's a protest coming up at us, and I was like, man, I should jump in that. And then
You really did think that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like,
I would never. Even if somebody could be protesting for the lives of like the Clancy family, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna let you guys do that.
And I convinced myself, because that sidewalk corner was pretty comfortable. I was like,
white guilt.
I was like, they're gonna know I'm a poser.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not a real ally.
I'm gonna ruin the vibe of the protest.
To be fair,
that's how
actually,
narcissistic I am.
But
I'll ruin the vibe.
You're right. That is incredibly narcissistic. But if in that moment you jumped into George Floyd protest, they would have been like, cool, man, thanks for coming.
Would you
here.
just come from a golf course? Like I was like, let's go. You guys want a drink? But I think that if you're in a relationship like that couple, you just gotta. Although,
well, I will say that those two have to break up.
Yes,
and I don't know who is the breaker upper and who's the breakup-y. I don't know who's gonna win or lose the breakup, but that just doesn't vibe. If you are a earthy, crunchy, hippie protester, you need to date an earthy, crunchy, hippie protester. Like, you're gonna live in tents on the side of the road and glue yourself to the fucking highway together. You can't be. It can't be like, okay, babe, I'm gonna like go contribute to like morbid capitalism and watch sports and gamble and like it's just not gonna work. So if you have a person who protesting is that sounds like she stopped protesting though. She said something like, I don't protest anymore. So maybe it was just like, listen, maybe you've become the radical, and it's like, I was down for like like all lives matter, or no, not that, but like everybody, everybody like should treat each other nicely, and then it was like you become like Antifa or something.
Goes out and all lives matter.
and accidental all lives matter. Like if you become the radical, that's
Kevin's
different.
radical view is all lives matter.
But if it's just like you both started in a relationship being like fight the power of change, and then one person like you can't stop that.
Yeah.
That's what like the fucking foundation. It's like Dennis and the protest
Yes.
girl.
Right.
That's his wife now.
No,
the
pharmacist.
Right.
Jackie, would you break up with someone?
I just don't really see. I kind of like him dumb, so I don't really. I don't really see myself going for like the protesting type.
You don't mean that. You really like guys to be dumb?
No, I don't like him dumb. I just like him like I guess.
Like fun, just like
fun.
easy.
like fratty. And, like,
You're in your frat boy era.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Complicit.
I like my guys to be part of the problem.
For real. Fucking Miss Barbie over here is like, I just want to get fucked by guys who don't care about me.
That's not what I meant.
Abs?
Yeah. Kind of like how you promised to never die in like a tornado. I promised like never be at a protest. There's nothing I care about.
I don't think there's anything. There are things that I'm passionate about. There is nothing that I feel I am important enough to the cause of to protest. You know,
I
you
say all
guys
this
take care of
despite being. It's always tough to have that Brady Ford.
I was just saying you went to jail for a protest.
That was
different.
a grander plan. That was like a protest where we thought we were gonna make a difference, but not for the thing we were protesting for.
No, here's the thing. I will say this. I will never be in a protest that's not funny.
Yeah.
If a protest is funny, I'll do anything to be funny. I'm desperate to make you laugh. If somebody comes to you with a fun Brady Ford protest, I'll go to jail. Okay. My friend was getting divorced. Oh, this is from a personal. This is like from real life. My friend was getting divorced, so I didn't give him a +1 for my wedding. They're trying to work things out now, and called off the divorce, but I still won't invite her. This was a big thing. This is
you?
Not me, but like in my life. My buddy caved and invited them, and like 2 months later they were divorced again. And he was very like, this girl's like treating you poorly and is like treated us poorly, and like, we don't want her at the wedding. He was kind of like, well, then I'm not coming. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. And he was like, all right, fine. Like, you have to be there. They're like best friends. And so he did, and then they broke up anyway. But the point is, like, they're fine. Like, it was like in the moment at their wedding, I think they were stressing over it, and you're very particular about who can be at your wedding and share in your special moment, and you have a bunch of ego, and they were absolutely justified to say no, but then they caved. I think that they felt stupid that they caved. Then they were like, I told you so, and the divorce happened. But the point being that all of it is now like your wedding list is like one person here, one person there. Like, you're never gonna think about it again. So don't lose a best friend over it.
I don't get that. Where like, I get there the tier of people who get +1s, the tier of people who don't get +1s. But like, if you're debating over a +1, like, was that a stance to like you got to get out of this kind of deal? Like, if it's over the fucking plate.
No.
$100.
It was like, it was almost like we all disagree. Like, it was like you shouldn't be getting back with her. Like, it was.
See, that's crazy too. I think.
Well,
with all my friends,
I
do
don't,
whatever the fuck you. Why are you asking me?
But like it was extreme. It was like, this is bad for you and like your kids and your family.
I don't care about that. See, like
that's valid too. That's valid too.
Wholeheartedly care. Like, because I'm the one who's doing things bad for me.
Well,
I don't want you to care. Like, I know I'm not an idiot. Yeah. I know this is bad for me.
Well, that's
it's what I'm choosing to do.
That is a bigger discussion of Am I the Asshole? Of like, should you confront your friends when their relationship is bad, or their partying is too much, or their job, whatever. Like, is it your job as a friend to be like, I'm telling you that I think this is like bad for you, or is it your job to just be like, it's your life, bro?
Dude, pass. Throw another one on it for me.
You'll
Tornado, fucking
Protest.
I'll never be homeless, and I will never be involved in intervention. I don't give a fuck, dude. You want to die? Fucking insane, bro. You have a what do you have an intervention because he's too brave? Like, get the fuck out of here. I'll never be involved in intervention, dude. I'm not telling someone else how to run their life. It's crazy to me.
Well, you have another one too. You'll never be somebody's success story or somebody's like villain arc. Remember you said you'll never be the reason like somebody told you that you couldn't do something.
Oh yes,
What is
yeah.
this? What is this one?
Like when if someone's like, "Hey, I want to do this idea or I have this thing," I'm never gonna be like the guy who's gonna be like, "That'll never work."
Yeah,
like,
you
I'm
don't
like,
wanna-
yeah, give it a shot.
You don't. Wait, why though?
Because I don't want them to be able to go. John Feitelberg told me this wouldn't work.
That was.
Say kind of goes with the intervention thing. Where it's
Bro, like, this is
yeah, don't do the heroin. I don't know.
perfect example. Well, not perfect, but a funny example. My buddy texted me the other day, and he said, "If you ever buy a plane, I'm your guy to be the pilot." And this is one of my lifelong friends. I'm talking since I was 6. Known him for 32 years, and he is a buffoon, and is known. One time we were partying in New York. They came to my apartment for the weekend. We used to call them capital W, and we had like weekend 1, weekend 2, like Super Bowls. It was like weekend 4 was, we would like go all out. And after one of those weekends, him and his buddy had to drive back home to Philadelphia, like a 2-hour drive. My one friend was drunk and did not have his glasses. And my friend made him drive because he was just like, I'm too lazy. I don't want to do the drive. And I was like, you are notoriously our worst traveler by land. I can't even imagine how bad you are by air. And then so we were talking about all that, and then he said, I was like, by the way, what do you think I'm buying, a fucking plane? And he was like, oh no, I'm not talking about like a jet. I mean like one of those like 100K ones. And I was like, bro, those are death boxes that just fly in the air. And he said something that was like, he was like, it's totally safe to fly one of those things. And I was like, these are the quotes that end up in the newspaper when you fucking crash and die. I'm never going to be the guy telling you that, that's a bad idea, or like, that, don't buy that stock, because I don't want to be the quote. I also don't want to be the guy being like, I'm totally never going to die doing this. And then I fucking die, and you're that's the picture with the quote underneath it that goes viral.
What are you going to do, stab me?
Yeah.
And just stab.
Yes, exactly that. We got a good one from the gang. It was friend sends out a invitation to his engagement party that is on Labor Day weekend, but sent it out like this month, in the last couple weeks of the summer, where everybody already has Labor Day plans. Are you the asshole if you don't go to the engagement party?
It depends how close. Like, what the fuck has Labor Day plans?
I agree. Like, it's not like you celebrate it, but usually it's like it's our last weekend in our house that we rented, or like it's like a Memorial Day thing. Like it is like people rent. Like it might even be you rented a house.
I never had that. I guess because like Fagawi and stuff like that was Memorial Day, so we do that. But we never had.
There are definitely people who would be like, "Oh, I went in on a house with
last
people.
weekend in the house." I've never had someone rent out. I've never heard of someone renting. Not saying it doesn't happen, but I just in my friend group never heard of someone renting a house like for Labor Day weekend.
That is kind of a thing when you get older, where it's like we can't do a full summer, but let's do a long weekend.
I'm saying all this. I made Labor Day weekend plans last night.
The dumbest boy alive.
We didn't set them in stone, but I think they're pretty fucking sick.
You've been going. You've been traveling.
Yeah, Scotland.
Bro, world traveler. Scotland for Labor Day is,
Blink,
I think,
baby.
What?
Blink.
Oh, okay.
We haven't bought tickets yet, so it might not come to
Is
fruition.
Nate going?
But the
when Nate hears this, he's going. Nate will show up at that concert one way or another.
It was because it's me and my buddy's birthdays around that time, and he was like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, I was gonna say your birthday's like any day now.
And he was like, dude, how sick would it be? Like if you told 16-year-old us for our 35th birthday we could go see Blink-182 in Scotland, we'd be in. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, we would be.
So that is a Labor Day we can plan. That hasn't come to fruition. I would not go to your engagement party in that situation.
Yeah, like if you had dope plans.
I'd be like, I'm going to Scotland.
Yeah. Engagement party also is like there's going to be like 4 more events. Like there's going to be a rehearsal dinner, a wedding, like there's just a lot more. You usually do a meet and greet if you're in the wedding, whatever. But I do think it's like if you are potentially like in the wedding, maybe like you might have to bite the bullet on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're in the wedding.
Or you have to be prepared to be like cut out of the wedding. Like, here's the thing.
I guess I've never been to an engagement party. I don't think
the girl is going to. I don't even know what that really means. Like, I had an engagement party. It was like that night. It was like I had all my friends waiting at the bar, and I proposed, and then we went to the bar. But to like do it and then like weeks later have a party, I think that's kind of weird.
Dude, speaking of
like,
engagement
just wait
parties,
till the this like I said, this shit starts.
This kind of comes at the with all old Barstool stuff coming up. Keith, who's not around much anymore, I don't know if I ever told this story on the show. Fairly recently, I think it was on his personal Instagram, posted a picture of him and a girl and one of his friends, and just put "we're engaged," and they were like really happy, and it looked like maybe it was a picture from an engagement party. So I texted him, "Yo, congratulations, dude," and his reply to me was, "You believe that? It was only you and my dumb aunt who believed that." I was like, dude.
Why would I not believe that?
Why would I not believe that? I went back to look at it recently. The only words in the caption are "we're engaged." I was like, why would I think that was a trick?
Was it like the couple was engaged and he was in the picture?
No, it was him. It was because I know the other guy, and I think he's already engaged or married or whatever. Like, it just looked like 2 people with one of their friends.
Sometimes when
to be fair, it would be a weirder picture, like just your one random friend in a weird engagement.
Yeah.
But like it looked like it could have been at a party. It was just 2 you took, and he's not the most active user, so I thought like,
this is a big moment. He's gonna post. Yeah. When people are like, you believed that thing that's like highly believable, like that really good Photoshop or that really good deepfake. It's like, yes, I did. I fucking did. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just you and my dumb aunt. Like, what the fuck, man? Never mind.
Fine, fuck you then. And if you ever do get engaged, I'm not gonna fucking congratulate you. All right. Well, you guys, would you cancel your? You guys are young, so you're not even in this mode. I feel like you guys could be like, "Shut up, pussy. You're gonna get divorced anyway. We're going to the fucking beach." All right, let's do voicemails.
Straight talk. Are you paying too much for your wireless plan? If you're listening to this right now, I can make you 2 promises. 1, you're awesome. 2, you're paying too much for your wireless plan, you idiot. Straight Talk just introduced the new Straight Talk multi-line plan where more lines mean more savings. I want you to take a pause right now and try and guess what number I'm about to say for a cell phone bill. What you think it costs monthly for a cell phone bill? $300? No. Not that. I'm starting high for a reason. $200? Nope. $100? Nope. It's $25 a line per month when you get 4 lines. $25. I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know you could do anything for $25. Let alone have a monthly cell phone plan. I literally you can't walk outside without someone charging you $25 these days. Straight Talk is hooking you up $25 a line when you get 4 lines per month. Unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text, all on nationwide 5G. Plus, there are no contracts, no hidden fees, and no compromises. That's the Straight Talk talking. That's a Straight Talk talking from Straight Talk Wireless. That's a Straight Talk talking from Straight Talk Wireless. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com.
What's up, KFC Radio crew? Kev, glad you enjoyed your 10 days off. You deserve it, brother. Feits, I absolutely fucking loved you on the Mike Portnoy dog walk draft. That was truly hilarious. And
Pause,
your
pause,
shining
pause.
personality.
The atomic clock was one thing. There was another one. Hang on.
Which one were you, by the way?
What?
What was your first pick?
Oh, you couldn't tell who he was?
I was
could
trying to
tell who
figure
he
Bro,
it out.
was.
one is I did it on the show.
Yeah, but
I don't think
all
I was
of
here for
them. Hang on, let me pull it up. I don't want to spoil the dog walk, but it was so Barstool, so Feitelberg that we gotta do it.
No, the dog walk's out.
Okay, yeah, no.
But I'm just saying, like, I would say just go listen to the
Oh, I
dog
see,
walk.
I see.
But like yours was so. things we don't understand. Number 2, there's only one person in the world who.
Oh, yeah.
The second draft pick is passion. and I at first I was like, who the fuck? Oh. Also, I mean, if you're John, his first draft pick is a good one. I don't necessarily get it's a Feitelberg one. The human body is great though. We talked about if it said the female body, I would for sure have known.
In the conversation, it kind of
Like
got
how do
more
girls
to
piss
that.
and all that stuff. Yeah. Passion, satire. John's been saying for years. Nobody.
Which
like,
by the way, I actually didn't bring this up on the draft, but this I might just be the only person who does understand
yes,
satire.
yes.
But like
the world doesn't get
when
satire.
when I explained that on the show, all Chicago guys were like, "Oh yeah, we definitely always say we're steer club." I'm like, no, you're not.
You're not.
You make. I actually didn't bring this up on the draft, but this I might just be the only person who does understand satire.
Yes.
But like
the world doesn't get
when
satire.
when I explained that on the show, all Chicago guys were like, "Oh yeah, we definitely always say we're steer club." I'm like, no, you're not.
You're not.
You
You're
make
not.
jokes.
You're just joking. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the one that the last two you had to know. How does Tommy Smokes get laid?
You're
And
in the room.
I didn't look past
and also,
two. I didn't look past
and then
two.
also,
Yeah.
why is communism evil? Like,
that was another one that everyone was like, "He's got a good point."
Yeah, it does. And, I mean, that is the
Every
one.
time I bring that up, I'm gonna have everyone in this company be communist. But I don't even like communism. I don't want to be a communist. But I don't think it. I was like,
Why is it so bad?
Well, I was like, but people are like he's a communist, like he's a murderer. Like I don't know, he just has kind of silly political beliefs. I don't really fucking care.
Now, this was Mike Portnoy, his number 1 overall pick. Why my atomic clock doesn't work. But the rest were long beards. Okay. The Lions wanting a live mascot.
It was like his original pick was like the Lions having a live mascot. And we're like, that's not real.
Yeah.
He said, well, then I don't understand why they'd even want it.
I'm gonna skip to his last pick because this is a real one. People who fight on airplanes.
Yeah.
I can get that. But back to his 4th overall pick. People who scream at famous people. What the fuck does that mean?
He said when he's out with Dave, and he's like, people just yell from across the room at my son.
Okay. That I thought it was like because the picture is like someone screaming at somebody. So he means like, why would you like
Take
I'm
a
a big
picture.
fan.
Yeah,
Okay. That makes more sense.
I think he said
thought
he understands a picture, but not like
talking and yelling.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was like. I was like, are people getting like screamed at in the streets? Like, okay, that makes more sense. Anyway, back to voicemails.
Personality, which next to him is a challenge sometimes because he steals the show, man. Just got through the Becoming a Boat Guy segment on today's episode. Wanted to give you my full endorsement, Kev. I bought a boat with my wife about 7 years ago. We love it. Our kids absolutely love it. That euphoria you described in the episode does not go away. It's a blessing and a curse because I think a lot of times Tuesday at 11 o'clock, the office, it can be a little frustrating. But it brings up the age-old question, is it better to have loved and lost than to love at all? Or in this case, is it better to discover something that you absolutely love doing, but logistically simply just can't do every single day? Or would you just rather have not discovered that you're a boat guy to begin with?
I mean, it's just like, why have passion? You know, why have passion at all? I mean, I'm like lucky enough that if I really wanted to go do that, I could. But yeah, if you discover you love something that you just can't afford or cannot do or whatever, that sucks.
Yeah.
I will say I think in the relationship world, I don't think it's better to have loved and lost. I think if you find someone that is like your twin flame, God bless you, your kindred spirit, AKA you fuck really like you match in bed, whatever, like I think marry that person or like kill them or something. Like to just be like
a lot of people agree.
I was gonna say, yeah.
If you want to
people take those courses of actions quite often.
Yeah,
both of those.
Pretty standard thing. I'm either gonna marry this person and that doesn't go well.
If you have like the one and they break up with you or whatever, like you'll just be thinking about it all the time and trying to be like replacing it. I would rather have not had that relationship if it doesn't work out, to just be like, I don't know.
Do most people find that?
I don't know. That's the thing.
I think it's bad to find that. I think find someone.
you know what
someone you're solid with.
Yeah, I honestly, it's a little bit like heroin. It's like you don't want that high because like you'll want it forever.
Yeah.
It's like don't get that because it will be bad. Like that always comes with bad repercussions. It's the crazy and the sex, but the passion and the fighting, like it all goes hand in hand. So it's like stay away from heroin because you'll like it too much. Don't find that person unless again you're going to just marry them and like make it work through all the craziness or whatever. And then if you're lucky that you find something where it's all of that and it's not crazy, that I don't believe you can find that in a first I think you have had to have gone through one of those. Both people have had to have gone through bad relationships and come out the other side and be like, I know how I could make that work, but I need another person who they know how to make it work. You know what I mean? Like if it's two people who are just freshly finding that for like the first time, it'll crash and burn. It won't work. But afterwards you can be like, I'm not going to get in another relationship ever like that again. So you'll find someone who's kind of on the same boat. But if it's not going to last or be good, finding it I think is a bad thing.
I remember I was talking to Chaps years ago about relationships and stuff like that. I think I was getting out of one, and he was talking about, he's like, can you live without them? And I was like, well, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking psychopath. He's like, that's what you need. I was like, well, I'm never gonna find a person I can't live
I was gonna
without.
say to me it's like, I will get over literally anything.
Yeah.
Like I might never be quite the same. I might, forever miss you, but like life will go on. I think that's kind of crazy that anybody feels like they can't like
can you live without
truly
them?
live without a person.
I'm a fully functioning human. Well,
Yeah.
But
You're a semi-functioning human being.
Yeah, I can live without them.
Yeah.
This kind of it's kind of a side note, but I forgot. I was watching a TV show or a movie recently where someone was like talking about it's a relationship, so it's tangentially connected, but they were talking about how they're scarred and they've been cheated on before, so like they have their trauma and their baggage and all this stuff. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut
the fuck up.
Bro, like that's how relationships end.
Yes.
That is
every relationship.
Oh, you've been broken up with?
Every relationship, theoretically, except for one, and maybe not even that one, is going to end in a breakup.
But
get the fuck over it.
Cheating in particular, I mean, where it's like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Like
bro. Let's
but like I've been hurt before.
cosign.
Yeah, no fucking shit. So have I. Everyone's been fucking cheated on, dude.
Bro.
That's how relationships end.
I can't with the cheating anymore. It's just like the amount of people still saying it. I did 1 Minute Man yesterday. I said Dave Portnoy has bought back 100% of Barstool Sports. Someone said if only KFC was 100% in on his wife, and I'm just like I can't anymore, guys. Nobody's 100% in on their wife. Let me tell you a little secret.
Everyone can live without the other person.
It's just it's kind of a. I think it's like a sickness. Like I stereotypically thinking. I think it's primarily female. There are certainly guys who get obsessive about girls, but like. It's a relationship. It's a thing that you can like opt into in life. It's not like you have. You know what I mean? It's just like, why does this run your life in a good way, in a negative way? Like, it should just be like a compliment to the things that you do and your other family and all that shit. You know what I mean? The idea of like it ruins your life or completes your life is weird to me.
I could see passion. Like I don't get it.
Yeah. I can understand a person. But just like the idea, like when women, again, stereotypically like speaking, they are looking for a husband, a relationship. Like if you find the person, it's like having a friend you like, a brother, a sister. Like you want that person around you more. But just being like, I need like the husband and the house and the kids and like, I'm just like, why?
I had that obviously a lot when I was in college, which I'd heard the stereotypes and not the stereotypes, but the cliches, and I don't know. When I was going down to Florida, I assumed that they were jokes. Where like it was
ring by spring.
Basically, I assumed they were like misogynistic jokes.
Yeah.
And because most of the people in my life in the Northeast, I had not met like the women and everyone like would not like that. And I got to Florida, and had a bunch of tryouts. Like, we're doing ring by spring.
Crazy.
And I was like, wait,
That's real.
that's real?
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm just here. Like, I'm here to find my husband. I was like, we're all fucking shirtless, passed out,
Yeah,
drunk,
like,
doing push-ups in the yard.
You're going to pick one of those guys? Push-ups in the yard.
Literally, that's what we would do. We would get drunk and we would work out in the yard.
And they're like,
you want
he's
to
mine.
come in here, husband shopping?
That's fucking crazy.
Half of us are gay. This is.
That's what I'm just saying. That's my type.
Jackie's going to go to fucking FSU and find a husband. I don't know why I was gonna say, speaking of misogyny, this is not really misogyny, but just it just sparked in my mind. I got a message from there's like a parent group email thing where just like all the parents in the neighborhood.
Have they moved to text with that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Text.
I'll never.
A lot of.
That's I've had a million reasons why I'll never have kids. So fucking strangers don't group text me.
Yeah, it's shitty, but every now and then you get a gem. Calling all concerned parents, it appears that an illegal massage parlor has opened up at XYZ address, like in town, like in the neighborhood. Their hours of operation and marketing campaigns suggest that something more than reflexology is going on. If you live in the area and are compelled to help, I will be putting out a call to the non-emergency police line to request an investigation, and I urge anyone who feels the same as I do to follow suit. Not what I want around our kids in this neighborhood. Books massage. Your boy's like, I'm going to be supporting the local small businesses.
Yeah, nice of them to give the address right off the
Yeah,
rip.
I was going to say, if you don't think I popped that in Google Maps, I was like, oh, it's next to the pizza spot? Okay, cool.
I was like, immediately in my head, I was like, Mac, like, that's disgusting. Where? What websites is he posting these on?
Great. All right, let's do one more.
KFC, Feits, crew, what's
This
good?
guy looks
Out
cool.
Here, repping the 21, 12, 1.2, 12%, whatever it is. I came across an article the other day. It was actually a study from one of the most respected institutions in the world, the New York Post. And it was a study about how men often have the best sex with emotionally unstable women. And I was like, I know a couple guys this relates to, myself included. And the reasoning is because those emotionally unstable women have similar traits that we have ourselves. So it's like, oh, that's kind of me. I hate me, but I kind of like that in somebody else. So that's what happens. And then it got me thinking about last week's episode where y'all were talking about Feits just being super self-loathing, and it's a miracle he's not violent. The study took place in Germany. So, Feits, good on you for not becoming a full-blown Nazi and saying you just hate yourself. But you kind of support Hitler? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I'm not too German, as you see, so I guess I'm just good old-fashioned fucked with no reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically, like, they're just, it's super rare.
I forgot, like, can we get a clip of that? I forgot. I like that, the quarter-inch one way, quarter-inch the other way. What were we saying with that?
What's that?
We were saying with, like, you're like, thank God you're, like, the way you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
And we were talking about how, like, I'm the human version of hitting the post.
The human version of hitting the post is, like...
It could have been, it's not great, but it could have been way worse.
Great. I mean, it is truly God or the supreme creator or whatever, science's like most evil trick that like the great sex and the wild fun comes with the crazy and the fighting.
Yeah.
And if you can,
it's both, like, it's the bad boy and all that stuff too.
It's both sides. It's all equal, but it just sucks that that's like the case. I just wish that people. What are you doing? Why? What are you?
Just trying to smile through a 1,000-yard stare.
I just wish that you know how people like they chalk up like their single phase. They're just like, yeah, I used to like fuck a bunch of people and now I settled down. We need to go like one step further and be like, that was my toxic phase, and people need to come out of it. I guess the problem is you're truly toxic. It's not a phase, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we need to recognize all toxic people need to recognize how toxic they were and stop that. Because
Like I think I've done it to an extent.
Totally.
I was definitely
I for sure have been toxic.
in my early 20s in particular.
But so that's the thing.
Toxic.
Most people say, like, if you find out that a chick was just a fucking slut in college, there's some guys who are gonna be like turned off by that or insecure about that. But most people are like, oh, she was young, It's when you find out, it's like, oh, you're like 35 and you're still that way. Like you're, I don't know, maybe you got some issues, right? The same thing with like toxic. It's like you can be the crazy bitch, the crazy guy, toxic when you're young. When you grow up, you can't be toxic anymore. Come on. You can't be doing the
We're
crazy.
just making
can't be
the
stalking.
argument for growing up.
Yes, yes, but it needs to apply to toxic too, because I think we apply it to everything else. But you'll catch a grown-ass adult stalking somebody on the internet. You'll catch a grown-ass adult with fucking burner accounts and fucking fake phone numbers and shit. It's like, what are you fucking doing? If you were 22, I'd be like, I get it. You're fucking 30.
That's
what are you
true.
doing?
That is very
Grow
true.
up.
It's kind of weird now.
Yeah.
It's just like anything where you get when like you're a guy, you get in drunk bar fights. Like,
Yes.
it's
I
what
don't
you
do
at
that
20.
anymore.
I'd actually go the opposite with it. I'd say we should stop accepting it at any age.
At any point.
But
yes.
It is so.
But there is a window of like unacceptable behavior in this point of your life. And
the
after
way
that
you
window,
look at it, like when I was in a relationship in like my 20s, I'm like, that was nuts. But I kind of laugh about it, and then the laughter stops. We're like, that's fucking nuts.
And if it was like I'm still in one at 34, 35, you'd be like, this is pathetic.
Yeah.
And I did it later in life too, but I'm like I'm not like proud of it, and I don't do it anymore, and I sometimes I also don't think you can choose when the toxic finds you. Like he said, would you rather have never experienced that? Some people find it at 21. Some people maybe have boring relationships until they're 31.
Yeah.
And the first time you find it, whether you're a kid or an adult, you're like, holy fucking shit. But so maybe it's not an age thing. Maybe it's like once you've done that, you can't do it anymore. You have a period of time. And once that person, that relationship, that whatever has gone and everyone's like moved on, like be done with that shit. Come on. Fucking move on. Grow up. Yeah. All right. We have an interview? No. No interviews. The strike is basically preventing anybody from doing any interviews. So it's going to be just Johnny and I and maybe a couple comics.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
I hope, SAG, get your fucking bag, dude.
Yeah, for real.
I need a break.
Hold out.
I need a little
Hold out.
vacation
It's
time.
just going to be Johnny and I and a couple local comics on the show, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see you guys next week for a 2-episode week of KFC Radio.
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah. But if you want more of us, we'll be on Barstool Radio. Well, no, because we're not doing Fridays.
Yeah.
But we'll be back.
We'll
Barstool
be
Radio.
Barstool Radio this afternoon.
This afternoon, and then next week, Monday through Thursday, somewhere in the 2:00 hour. We're working out the timing.
It is.
You're also going away.
I'm going away next week. This all came together pretty quickly. I think I'll just miss Wednesdays. We're going to try and work that out. I think I'll just miss Wednesday's episode.
Yeah, there's going to be, since this all came together quickly, there's going to be some times where we're going to try to make sure Barstool Radio is always the real host, because I know people used to get let down when it was like replacement hosts. Because we had some other commitments we made when we weren't doing a daily radio show, it'll be a little bit different for a couple months, but can rest assured we're always going to try to be there. So Barstool Radio it'll probably be on the Barstool YouTube, and KFC Radio back to twice a week, all things otherwise normal. Barstool's back, baby.